Hey, welcome to the Dad Challenge channel. My name is Josh, and today it's Saturday, so I was just thinking, what am I gonna do? What am I talking about today? We did a podcast last night, Jeff and I, where we talked a lot of cool things about our teenagers, and we talked about like golf beer cart girls, which is a funny joke. You need to go check that out. Today I'm gonna talk about how lucrative it actually is to be a family vlogger, okay? And what you have to kind of give up to do it, and what you kind of gain from doing it. We're going to go through Myka's videos, a couple of her videos, just really quick. I'm not going to do the whole things, but we're going to go through her house tours where she did this Marie Kondo one in her old house, and then I'm going to show you her new house. The reason I'm doing this is I want to go back to the apology where she talked about how they made a little bit of money off H. How to sell your soul to be a family vlogger and if it's worth it, because clearly it is to some people, right? So let's just get right into it. I don't want to do a 30-minute video today. I want to just get right into it. We're going to look at this video that she recorded. So this one was her first video of her first house where she did a Marie Kondo thing. Basically, what people call Myka out on the most is the hypocritical nature of everything that she says on her channel, right? You just can't get around it. First, you're a vegan because it hit an algorithm, keto, whatever. And then you found out you're not vegan. And then you did homeschooling and realized, oh, this is work, so I can't do that. And then the kids are in public school. So all these things to say that you basically have to be someone else when you're researching YouTube algorithms, like she said in the video, right? You basically just have to become something that you're probably not at all. But let's go through how lucrative it is by watching her first video here. And we're going to do some commentary on that.
Friends, it is finally happening. Today I am creating my much awaited house tour.
Much awaited. For all of you people who are waiting for this house tour, it's here. So like, get excited. First of all, okay, can we stop with the super brightness? Like you can almost not see her nose. Like I get it, but like chill with the light.
And I'm really excited to take you guys into my space.
Here's another thing that a lot of people are commenting on the video where she did the interview with the dude. Her voice. Listen to her voice here, right? Listen.
If you are new to my channel and this is your very first time coming to my...
And then listen to her voice on this video. What a difference, right? Right? Like crazy. This is the fake made-up person. So we're going to talk about this whole thing.
Channel, please subscribe. I'll have a subscribe button pop up right...
Don't subscribe, okay? Just do yourself a favor. Unsubscribe.
Here, and I would love to have you as a subscriber. I upload new content every single week. And if you like this house tour and you are super excited for this video to be uploaded, give this video a thumbs up. It's super easy to give a thumbs up, and it means the world to...
Although now you can't give thumbs up on these channels because she deleted that part. No thumbs up because you can't. That's, again, this speaks volumes about these channels. Like we're going to go through 8 Passengers and their Instagrams. If you have to limit everything that people are saying in your Instagrams and YouTube channels and comments and stuff like that, that is super telling, right? You've done something wrong. It's not the world, it's you.
When you guys do that. So I hope you guys enjoy and let me show you my home.
Welcome to my home. This is the entrance to my home. Right when you walk in.
So here's, first of all, it's a terrible video. Looks like they was shot with a potato, but it's a smaller house, right? This is a smaller house.
You see this oversized canvas that I actually painted.
Something tells me as I walk through here, I'm just going to scrub this video. I don't really want to go through this whole thing. Oh, look at YouTube. Here we go. Congratulations on 100,000 subscribers. Make sure you show that. It's the most important thing.
Next, we make our way into my kitchen.
Okay, who walks into a kitchen on the floor? Stop. So just going through the house, going through it all. She doesn't really show tons, like it doesn't open up to see everything. But basically, I wanted to scrub this whole thing until I find a spot that shows the whole thing. So even if you look at the upstairs, it's just not big. The kids all sharing rooms. It's a beautiful house. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that she didn't have anything.
Space that we don't let any little...
Oh, here's the thing.
Excited to kind of...
You can't even, like, it's so overblown you can't even see the video.
Down it, put it into my kiddos' bathroom.
Kiddos! Let's play a drinking game. Every time you hear her say kiddos, take a drink, and you guys will be hammered by the end of any of her videos. Because she doesn't call them children. She calls them kiddos. Because they're friends. They're not really kids.
Have a couple little decor items to give it a small pop.
Pop! All that to say, we're going through. The master bedroom is tiny. Everything's pretty small. This is a beautiful house. Don't get me wrong. It's a great starter house. This house where I live, okay, near Toronto, would probably be where I live, $750,000. Okay, and that's just, now I'm saying that to tell you that when we get to the next house, like it's insane because everybody's like $600,000 house. If you said a $600,000 house where I live, you live in the ghetto. it's weird, right? Anywhere you live near Toronto, a $600,000 house is basically, you know, a tree house or someone's basement with dead hookers in it. That's what's going on here. But I wanted to say that her house where I live would be worth that much. Where she was, it's probably like $250,000 or something like that. Okay, not a bad house. Enter H. Enter the adoption story. Enter the explosion of followers and everything that happened because of the algorithm she did and they adopted and everything. Enter that. That all happens. Then we get into this.
Today I'm going to be sharing my house tour with you. This is a highly requested video on my channel, and since we've moved in, we have not shared with you a full house furnished tour, so I want to go ahead and do that today. If you are new,
this house is ridiculous, beautiful and ridiculous. And part of this whole world of YouTube vloggers that makes people want to watch them is that they're wealthy, right? They have a lot of things you don't have. Why do we as people, and I'm just as guilty. One of my favorite shows in the world is Entourage. And it's just that show where this actor who's super famous spends a ton of money and lives this life. And I love watching it. Maybe do I want it? Is that why I love it? But why is it that people love this stuff? Look what I have that you don't have and watch me have it. That's weird to me.
Here, hey, I'm Myka and welcome to my house. And if you like what you see, definitely stick around and subscribe. And if you're
okay, so I'm not going to go through that. I just wanted to give you a little quick tour of everything. I'm going to scrub through it all. Like, it's a massive house.
Pottery barn, and then I love this kitchen. However, I do see myself changing it because certain times of the day, the space is really dark just because of...
I'm so sorry that certain times of the day your $1 million kitchen is dark. Will you be okay? Did you need therapy for that? Oh my... you know, do you really want to keep rubbing it in? Look how amazing my kitchen is, but I might change this because it's just a little too dark for me.
Beautiful because all of the sunshine.
That stove legit. Probably 30 grand. Whoa. Think about this for a second. How much money is just in this kitchen alone. That range is insane. It's beautiful. Just that stove, like people can't like afford to like buy, you know, diapers. They have a $30,000 stove sitting right there and telling me you didn't make a lot of money off H.
In the windows, but I'm updating it in the future. Above our laundry room door, we have a little TV. We've never turned it on ever.
We're so rich. We have a TV we've never turned on. People, can we stop watching this? Oh my gosh. Like, how can you be so disconnected from everything? I guess it's your fan base, though. Wow. I don't like her.
A rug that I picked up.
I can't do it. Okay, I don't want to keep... I just want to show you some stuff. I'm going to keep going through. I'm going through this with you. This is absolute luxury. Beautiful house. Expensive furnishings. Like, tons of space and everything. All this. You have all of this because... And we know why you have all of this, right? And then you try to play it off like you don't have all of this because of that. Because of H. All of this is because of H. Let's be real. Well, can't say all. Okay, so it's not all. Because James does have a garage channel that a lot of people didn't associate. So at least let's say half or more than half is because of H. And so all this was made possible because you exploited a kid that you adopted. That's all I'm saying. And so I'm just scrubbing through here. Whatever. Just crazy, this house. Just crazy. All right, that's enough of that. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. They had this old house, probably worth $250,000. They bought this new house for $600-something thousand. And in the middle of this whole explosion in their channel, they start bringing money in. It just starts rolling in, and they're like, what are we going to do with this? What are we going to do with this? And he's bringing in money from his channel. People are making huge amounts of money from YouTube. And all could have just kept going because, like, as far as people were aware that she was sincere and everything. But now everything's being uncovered. And this is the world of family vloggers that we're going to talk about. You have to be very careful. If you want to be a family vlogger, go for it. You've got some great things to say, some great lessons to tell people, some relaxing videos to do. I'm all for it. Watch people clean, watch people stack their pantries, whatever it is. I'm all for it, right? But you can't sit there on this video on Instagram and then say, we're going to do this one privately. There's just, if you put it all out there for everyone to see, it's going to come back to haunt you eventually if you've done some dirt. Is it lucrative to be a family vlogger? Holy shnikes, look at what we're looking at. Ruby, Frank from 8 Passengers. Every successful family vlogger, they make tons of money. They end up changing their lifestyle because it all rolls in. This is a perfect example. You go from a normal house that probably made decent bucks to this basically mansion. And we sort of understand why everything's on the line for them, right? Everything is on the line. They went and bought all this craziness. Apparently they have 2 Range Rovers. They have a Mercedes. Who needs that many cars? Family. I have 3 cars, but one of them's for my teenager, right? So we kept the one after I got the Tesla because we knew we were going to give it to Tyson to go to school with. We don't have 3 cars because we're balling. We have 3 cars just because it's going to a teenager. But we have a van that takes all the kids whenever we go out somewhere, and we have my car, which is my commuter, right? Why would you need 3 vehicles just for the sake of having it? Like, you live this luxury lifestyle and you pour all of your assets and everything into using YouTube, and then it falls apart on you. Now you can see why they're panicking. Now you can see why they're hiring lawyers. Now you're trying to see what they're trying to get away with it all. They're trying to just avoid it and go and just be like, let's keep going. Their money has been affected. You know, it's been affected. They're probably making residuals from the past videos and all that stuff, and it's just not as much. So maybe they're just trying to figure out how to like suck it all in and keep going, because James is like, I have to do videos. It's all I have. And it just goes to prove that if you're not willing to take responsibility for something that you've done that's pretty gross, and you just want to continue on with this, that you're not sorry. You're not really sorry at all. And we keep coming back to this. You're not really sorry if you go to Bali for 2 weeks. You know what I mean? And like do videos and then start another channel and stuff like that. There's just too much here that shows that you didn't care. So is it lucrative? Absolutely lucrative. What's the smart thing to do? Right? Any of you out there watching this channel would do this in a heartbeat if you knew the money you'd make and you were guaranteed that it would work, right? You would. But here are the cons, and we're living in it, and the Stauffers and 8 Passengers are living in the cons right now. Is that everything you put out there, as soon as one person or something really, really happens, you've got a Facebook group or Cancel Myka, James, and James Stauffer, who now have 3,000 members dedicated to your demise, okay? And for good reason. They're not just out there, people are looking for stuff to talk about and to be outraged about and all that stuff, and they're justified, and they want justice for H and all this stuff. But this is what happens. The bigger you get, the harder you fall. And look at the other YouTuber guy that's been there for 12 years who had all these racist jokes and everything in the past, and it's just now time. It's just a matter of time before something you've said or done is going to come back to haunt you. And I'm sure it's going to happen to me. I hope not, but maybe I'm saying something now that in 10 years is going to be, I can't believe you said that 10 years ago, right? So in her case, it's just she's lit the fire of people who not only adopt from overseas, who adopt normally, who adopt kids with autism, who have kids with autism and issues like that, and that you've just thrown them away because you used an algorithm and you've proved it. You've lit a fire under people, and so you put it all on the internet in a fake persona. So let's talk about that. If you're going to do a family vlog, you've got to be the fakest person ever to be successful. Do you really think a lot of these family vloggers are who they are on behind the camera and on camera? Right? It's just not possible. There was a popular couple out there. Someone wants me to talk about it. I forget their name. They're talking about marriage, and now they're getting a divorce. Right? So it's just never the same when the camera's not on. So when you're watching these, as a fan of these things, understand it's not real. When they say things like, this is real and raw, we're going to tell you, this is not. They're showing you the best part of their life because it gets them views. I'm not going to show you the gross part of their life because look at it. Well, Ruby shows you some of the gross stuff. Can you imagine Ruby Frank from 8 Passengers? If she shows you the stuff she shows you there, how much worse she probably is when the camera's not on? It's probably super telling about who she really is. If she's cool with like being that person on camera, and she's probably way worse off camera. So just take that for what it is. She's willing to say all those things on camera, like, I hope no one gives my daughter food because she forgot her lunch and she's 5. Can you imagine who she probably really is? She's probably one of the biggest Karens in the world. She's probably spoken to many managers. That's all I'm saying. People who are rich also feel like they're entitled to things. And all these things, all these sponsors she has for these houses and all that stuff, and the family vacations and everything that were sponsored by her watchers, all this stuff encompasses this whole thing. And then you got the P.O. boxes where people send you free stuffs because they hope you're going to open them on the channel. All this to say that family vlogging is very lucrative and very exciting until you literally get destroyed by the thing you created. That's the thing that scares a lot of people the most. But some people just refuse to let up, and they do crappy things, and then they just assume that we're just going to continue. The management company that runs Myka Stauffer's channel needs to drop her. So she hires a manager, and this manager is probably doing all this, hiring the lawyers, and that manager is probably copyright striking other channels and all this stuff. Maybe one of the solutions here is to reach out to Myka's manager and say, why are you protecting this person who did this thing? And all these other channels, like if you look in that Facebook group, there's all these other people who reach out to sponsors and fans and other family vloggers that support Myka, and they're like, you don't know the whole story, so we're going to continue to support. I'm not saying don't support your friends. I'm just saying don't publicly come out and say, this is cool, you don't know the whole story. We don't know the whole story. She won't tell us the whole story. I've asked many questions to tell me the story. We walked through her house, her old one and her new one. Family vlogging is very, 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 very lucrative. And when you say that you only made a little money off H, and then everything you made went back into his therapy, we can see the absolute proof of the lie by just walking through your monstrosity of a house that is fully, like, it's beautiful, don't get me wrong, and I'd love to live in a place like that, but I'd like to earn that on my own accord. I'd like to not exploit other people to get that and to ask my fans for that type of thing. I would just literally, I wouldn't feel good about that, you know what I mean? But we can see that after this whole thing exploded with H and you made a ton of money, what happened after. So I did this whole video just to prove that point where she said that we made a little bit and went back to him, because it's bull crap, and you guys all know it. I hate watching it, and I don't watch her videos. I instantly download them so I can watch them on my computer, so don't watch her videos. But I'm sure there's more out there I haven't even seen yet, and it's just gross. And I'm going to keep talking about it because you don't watch my other stuff. But if you have any comments about this or any videos that I have not seen yet that I should be covering talking about this type of stuff, let's get into it, because her apology was just not good enough, and I feel like something's about to happen with Myka Stauffer where she's going to come back with a video, and we need to be ready to like shut that down. Cannot let her get back to this life. For those of you who do like this, thanks for watching. Like or subscribe, or don't, whatever. You are my therapy. Talking about this stuff is important. Check out my other videos. Check out our podcast wherever you get your podcast. And if you're out there watching, thank you. And I know sometimes there's a lot of ads on these videos. It's hard to control that. I wish it wasn't so many. And thank you for doing that, because it does help me support this job. This is becoming a pretty big side hustle for me, and I enjoy doing it. And it's really helpful that if I can bring some side money in, I can spend a lot more time on this, and I really enjoy it. And if you guys like listening to these podcasts, that's great. I do want to tell you one thing. There is something that I've started, and it's called disaster detailing. The reason I started this channel, Jeff and I from the podcast, the reason we started this disaster detailing channel is to give you something so you don't have to watch the other thing. Our disaster detailing channel is going to be a little different. We're going to do it with some humor, some fun, we're going to have some contests, and we're going to just launch that channel. So when it comes out, I will let you know, and I want you guys to go subscribe and go watch those videos, and we're going to really replicate that type of detailing channel so that you can watch it and not watch the other one, right? So, and I know I'm kind of preaching the choir with everybody who's watching this, but we're not going to stay silent on this, because that's what they want. They want everybody to stay silent so that they can just come back. They want it to go away. They want it to die down, and they're kind of testing the waters with these apologies and everything else and seeing what's happening, and they're shutting off all their comments. And again, if you have to shut your comments off, and you have to if you have to make sure that no one can say things, you're not coming back. And all that in that whole Facebook group, and everybody that's mad about this, don't let this go until they literally say what Jenna Marbles said the other day. I'm done. That's another video. I don't know much about Jenna Marbles, but until that happens, you got to keep putting the pressure on, keep putting the pressure on, keep putting the pressure on. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending a little bit of your Saturday with me. You are awesome and amazing, and I love you. And those chips are coming soon. I promise. I got them. My kid almost tried to open them, eat them. I had to be like, nah, they ain't for you, yo. He cried. So that's the sacrifice I'm making for you. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we will see you probably tomorrow or something.